Shalom and good day all, this is Healing29 back again for another DC review, and in this DC review I'll be covering Shazam issue 5 and Superman 78 The Metal Curtain issue 1. So I'll now get things organised for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So as we move into first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the internal art of the story, to which we'll have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end, and also what's happening with the characters story-wise. So as the story begins, we end up catching up with Billy Batson, who is basically freezing to death in space, until we get Mary Marvel on the scene to help awaken Shazam's powers, or to be the captain again. But I don't think she actually knows what's also happening with some of the gods that are around Shazam at the moment. As things continue towards the middle, we have Mary Marvel and also Shazam Billy Batson working together to take on the villains in this. And I think one of the characters in this is, I think her name's meant to be Queen Bee, but it wasn't addressed in this. But does it affect the story? We'll soon find out. As we draw a little bit closer to the end, they end up taking out one of the villains, and we also get to see the gods who are behind Shazam's powers also in a bit of a discussion. Until, last but not least, Billy Batson is fed up with them. But who comes in next to take his place? And that is Freddie Freeman. So for the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. So first things first, do we get anything comic reference-wise? Sure enough we do. We get Shazam issue 3, which was recently. Next is the area of time, which isn't covered. The locations that make an appearance in this film is the Rock of Eternity, to which we get to catch up with the members of the Shazam family. And also Earth Zero, to which everything is taking place from. The cast of characters being Billy Batson, the captain, Mary Marvel, we had Gargua, Eugene, Darla, I forget the other one. We also had Zeus, Solomon Mercury, and Freddie Freeman. For the overall story rating for this, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into Superman 78 by Robert Venditti. So as we begin to move into Superman 78, The Metal Curtain, a take on the Iron Curtain. Does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which we do see Superman in the cover, but in the background we have the beginnings of the Metallo of this universe. So now it's time to begin. For the cover, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the internal, as to having a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, in regards to art and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as this story begins, we get a bit of a flashback to when Krypton exploded. And what we get to see here in this particular story is actually a shard or crystal that strikes a place in Russia, and we get to see some of the kryptonite that has turned up there. As we move towards the middle of the story, Superman comes in to save the day, and he also comes in to save Lois Lane. And as we return to Russia, we see the beginnings of the character who will become Metallo in this 78 universe, and also his suit. Now, one thing that I heard in some of the review in this is that we also get to see the appearance of Lex Luthor. Well, as I was reading it, I saw no real appearance of Lex Luthor in this, and I think they might actually be wrong. But we do see the character who will become Metallo in this, but let's not say Lex Luthor will make an appearance. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. So first things first, do we get anything time-wise, seeing that this is a beginning of a new series? We do, with the year of, or a connecting series, to which this is the first issue. For time, we get 1951 and also decades later being used. The locations that take place in this are Krypton. We get Baruta in the USSR, so in Soviet Russia. We eventually see Metropolis as well as the Daily Planet. We do return to Moscow and also to a particular sub-level in Moscow. The cast of characters that make an appearance in this are Lois Lane, Clark Kent Superman, Jimmy Olsen, we had Perry White, and last but not least, the character who will become Metallo. For the overall story rating in this, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.